6 degrees, feels like -15 with snow showers. New York City, temperatures in the low 20s now, but the cold is coming. You will see lows in the single digits tonight. So you're in the midst of that Arctic chill, and guess what? A lot of the rest of the country joining you. We're going to focus in on the Northeast for this hit and take a look at Saranac Lake, -9, your temperature 2 in Syracuse and Binghamton, 3 down in the Southwest New York in Jamestown. When we look at the rest of the region, we've got mid-20s around D.C., low 20s for Philly and New York, and teens into Boston and Bangor, Maine. Bangor at 14 degrees. Wind chill alerts. We've got advisories and warnings for dangerous wind chills as you get into upstate New York, the northern tier, and then into parts of New England as well. So we're talking about dangerous cold even into this part of the country. And when we look at the wind chill forecast, you get the idea why. Feels like -22 at 8 o'clock in Binghamton. As we get into the overnight, Boston feels like -22 at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. That morning commute going to be very cold in places like Burlington, New York, and D.C. feeling like you're in the single digits, though, for your morning on Thursday, even around early lunch hours. It's going to be dangerously cold. That Arctic high drops well off to the south, so we have widespread temperatures below freezing, not just for the Midwest and the Northeast, but well down towards the Gulf Coast. We're even talking about parts of Louisiana, southern Alabama, and Mississippi. Now, tomorrow morning, temperatures will be around -24 in Caribou, -14 in Burlington. By Friday morning, generally in the teens, at least above 0, and by Saturday morning, still single digits and teens will be common. So several days of cold. Make sure your heating system's working properly. Don't want to be surprised and find out it's not working. Got to be careful with those space heaters, too. Make sure they're not near curtains or anything else that could catch on fire. You don't want them near your bedspread. New York, your average low is 27. Look at these lows. Thursday morning, you're dropping to 7 degrees. Upper teens. Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning, back to near average lows, even a little bit above the mark as we get into the early part of next week. So, Dave, it's a prolonged period of cold. Unfortunately, New York, Boston, just another part of the country getting in on it.
It sure is. Thanks for the heads up. Well, winter isn't even a month old, and furnace companies across the Midwest are busy 24/7. Now, freezing temperatures are putting older heating systems to the test. Dave Malkoff makes a house call that could help you keep from having to bundle up in your own home.
Sure, it's beautiful, but remember, it's brutally cold here in the Chicago suburbs. You shouldn't have to wear all this winter gear inside your home. That should be your sanctuary. But that's not the case for tons of people who woke up this morning with an emergency call to the heater repairman.
I'm just calling to let you guys know I'm heading out there.
The phone calls haven't stopped all day. In some cases, this is the first real test for furnaces all over the Midwest. And some aren't burning as blue as they used to.
Oh yeah, you can see the flame down there too.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Despite that, it has been bitter cold in Nick Drouse's home.
It stays warmer around in the hallway area and by the washroom. Okay. But then when you venture over here, a lot with the open windows and everything, or sliding
you can feel
doors.
the temperature drop right here.
Yeah, it gets a little colder.
Many older homes around here don't have the kind of windows that keep the winter outside, leaving Nick feeling like a snowman here at night.
Sweaters and sweatpants at times.
You're sleeping in sweaters and sweatpants because it's so cold in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Back in the basement, the diagnosis is in.
It looks like the pilot did come on.
Sam Adisho from Topline Heating says that older burner has seen better days. And it's at least $2,000 to swap it out, maybe $5,000 for a high-end model.
You gotta pay the price sometimes, I guess.
It gets cold in Chicago.
Yep, yes it does. Very cold.
And maybe this advice falls into the better late than never category, but it's always best to have a little bit of maintenance in the fall than that emergency call right in the middle of a big winter storm. In Chicago, Dave Malkoff, the Weather Channel.
And today it's the bitter cold, the lake effect snow that's just giving folks fits.
I'll tell you, by the weekend, some of you could be sliding on ice. Ahead, who faces a frozen mix of rain or sleet.
Plus, bundling up is the way Chicago copes with the Arctic chill. We'll tell you how others are as well.
Okay, here's the plan. You're going to want to turn right.
In 0.2 miles.
Good.
No. You're killing. Watch the lane.
And we have this really
Got a car in our buns?
And we learned how to salsa dance.
He was dancing.
Backseat drivers just met their match. Introducing the entirely new Sonata.
You forgot to turn off the...
From Hyundai.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway.
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
There was a time when the sea gave way to the sky, and the sky to the sea, raising an amazing city into a destination like no other. Atlantis. Where legends are born and memories are destined to live forever. Atlantis.
When John Huntsman was diagnosed with cancer, he didn't just vow to beat it.
I vowed to eradicate it from the earth.
So he founded Huntsman Cancer Institute. Everything about it would be different. It would feel different. Look different.
And fight cancer in new and different ways.
With the largest genetic database on Earth that combines 300 years of family histories with health records to treat, predict, and in many cases, prevent cancer.
We made it welcoming and warm, with a focus on beauty, serenity, and getting on with life.
Huntsman Cancer Institute is the only cancer hospital in the world designed by a patient, with the vital understanding that cancer moves fast.
And we have to move faster.
To learn more or support the cause, go to huntsmancancer.org.
This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It's going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this.
Listen to that.
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 52. Thursday, mostly cloudy. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 68. Thursday night, a few clouds from time to time. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 63. Here's our 7-day outlook.
On camera.
Oh my God.
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Now this is Die Hard. It does not matter how cold it is. Some people just cannot resist free Chick-fil-A. Dozens of people are camping outside a new location that opens tomorrow in Derby, Kansas, right outside of Wichita. As you may know, the first 100 people in line when the doors open at a new Chick-fil-A restaurant will get free Chick-fil-A for a year. And right now, the folks inside these tents are dealing with 17-degree temperatures, wind chill 2 degrees, and that's going to be the low tonight. So they are working for that free Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I think they should say the first 100 survivors get free Chick-fil-A tomorrow.
I know. In this case, I like to think that Chick-fil-A is going to really reward these people for really hanging in there. It's one thing to wait outside, you know, in Georgia in the summer, but those guys are really showing their diehard Chick-fil-A fans.
They really, really are. Well, welcome back to Weather Center Live at 1/2 the hour. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Alex Wilson. The cold is the story that really everybody's talking about because it's impacting so many of us. More than 180 million Americans are under a wind chill alert of some type at this hour.
That's a lot of people.
That is.
And look at how far south the freezing line dips. This is tomorrow morning, the coldest time of the day. Right. Where are we? Jacksonville? North of Orlando, but Gainesville, and then out into the Gulf of Mexico.
Right, around New Orleans, they're going to be seeing freezing temperatures even into far southern sections of Texas. So we are talking about serious cold. And take a look at the wind chills. Minus 27 this afternoon in Chicago. You'll dip to around minus 30 at times overnight. Pensacola into the single digits. Raleigh into the single digits. Boston tomorrow morning, minus 18.
I think our point is made, don't you think? Huh?
I think so, too.
Yeah.
We can also show one more. If all of that didn't impress you, look at the zero line. You know, we showed you where the freezing line is. Here's the zero line. And you know what that means? Anything north of that, below zero tomorrow morning for your temperature.
Would you book me on a flight to Santa Monica, California, please?
I'd love to. I'd love to.
It's 82 there right now.
Well, we need that job.
We do. Carl Parker is standing by in the lab where it's about 70 degrees, but he's got some kind of good perspective on this. Carl?
Yeah, you know, we're going to actually start to see a little bit of a moderating trend this weekend, and then certainly so going into the middle of January, it appears. And here, first of all, is a look at the infrared satellite picture. This is always kind of fun when it gets really cold because normally what we use this for is to detect the very cold cloud tops, and where the cloud tops are colder, they're taller, and that is typically associated with where the weather is. So you start out with the scale that's on a sort of grayish tone, and then it gets more white and then becomes blue and then green and then yellow and then orange as the cloud tops get taller and the temperatures get colder. That's why it's called infrared satellite. And so clearly you see that there's motion right there. That's cloud. There's cloud right there. That's where the cloud is. But when we zoom in, and you can only do this a few times a year, you notice that a large area that is unmoving is white and then sort of bluish. It's changing a little bit with the change in the temperature during the day, but basically all of that ground is showing up on the infrared satellite because the ground is as cold as it usually is way up in the atmosphere at 20, 30, 40,000 feet. So a pretty remarkable depiction of that cold right there. And whenever you get a big change in temperature, you get a big change in pressure. And in fact, we're seeing a record high pressure now across the middle of the country, centered right around Nebraska. And so with that big change in pressure, the atmosphere doesn't like that. It wants to equal it out. And what it does to equal that out is create a lot of wind. So almost invariably, when you get a big cold blast, you get a lot of wind with it, and that blows that little layer of heat that sits right around your body away from you, makes you feel a lot colder. And so right now it feels like 2 in Nashville. It feels like 0, or excuse me, 8 in Oklahoma City, and it feels like 19 right now, 19 below in Minneapolis. And this is really where the coldest of wind chills are, in the northern plains and the western lakes. Temperatures now in the minus 20 to minus 30 range. And when you get to minus 30, that's where frostbite can occur in less than 30 minutes. So it really is literally dangerous cold here across this region. So we've got a very exaggerated pattern, jet stream riding way up there and then coming back down and into the eastern U.S. So there's a big ridge out here. And with that big exaggerated pattern, you're not going to change that unless you can get rid of that ridge out there. Turns out there is actually some pretty strong westerly wind across the Pacific. And that strong westerly wind is going to make some progress and start to beat that ridge down. So we get more cold coming through the lakes on Friday. But in the longer term, Dave, we are going to see more of a westerly flow, and that should moderate the temperatures somewhat into the early part of next week, and then even more so, we think, going into the middle of January. Back to you.
Thank you, Carl. It's good to know there's light at the end of the tunnel. Sheesh. You know, this cold air is getting into the deep south right now. I mean, that new Arctic boundary slid through Atlanta a couple of hours ago. Birmingham, Dallas, you're into it. And in the deep south, we're not used to this kind of cold for this long. And quite often, people who have houses that have crawl spaces under them end up having their pipes freeze, which can be a disaster. Well, people are being asked to keep their spigots dripping, to open up the cabinet doors to allow the warm air from the room in, to keep the pipes warm enough if those pipes are near the outside walls. It's that kind of a news event here in the south. Pensacola, we're expecting a record low tomorrow of 20 with all of these hard freeze warnings that stretch all the way from South Georgia into South Texas. And even though the Carolinas are not colored and Atlanta's not colored up here, that's because it's gotten this cold already. You've had your hard freeze. It's points further south. Wind chill alerts everywhere because the wind is blowing, even into Orlando and Tampa. How about that? Later on tonight is when that cold front will slide southward toward you, toward Corpus Christi and Brownsville, where it's in the 60s. Wind chill alert for tomorrow morning. Now, here's a look at our temperatures this evening. Wind chill values. Watch how far they dip tonight. We're after midnight now. Now we're in the wee hours. There's sunrise. There are your lowest wind chill values, getting down into the single digits, teens, and even 20s wind chill values in northern Florida. So there we go. That's the actual air temperature tomorrow at sunrise. 27 in Jacksonville, near 40 in Orlando, mid to upper 30s in the suburbs. Now, I'll tell you, Alex, when it gets this cold, and especially this windy, you really have to cover up the bod and every square inch you can.
And everything you do to keep warm, including typing. Hey, that burns a couple calories, right? So people have been talking about it on social media. Kate Shaw wrote, when it gets this cold, I wear long johns, boots, a hood, a heavy coat, some excellent mittens, and if all else fails, which it generally does in the winter here, I stay in, drink hot tea, and read about the Ice Age.
And that's all on her head.
Yeah.
She wears all those clothes.
And she's from Syracuse.
So she knows.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And let's take a look at Bob Hanneman in Montauk, New York. How he battles the cold. I like his idea.
That's my boy. Huh?
Just a little bit of snow around for ambiance. But yeah, everything's fine in the hot tub. And in Montauk, you'll be down to 8 degrees tonight.
That's a man right there.
That is.
That's what being a man is all about.
Tough guy.
Yeah. Next.
All right, Dasha in Chandler, Arizona says it's a cold 71 in Arizona and you don't have to shovel sunshine. I like that.
And in nearby Phoenix, it's 79 right now. The AMS is having their conference there, American Meteorological Society.
Oh, they knew.
And 79 ties the record for the date. What a week to be in southern Arizona.
A lot of our colleagues are there now, and you know, I think they're going to be heading back today or tomorrow, and boy, is that going to be a hard sell to get on a flight from Phoenix to Atlanta.
Right, you just want to bottle that sunshine out there.
Take a look at the next 5 days for Phoenix. 72 Thursday, 74 Friday, 69 on Saturday, maybe a few afternoon showers Sunday, back to some sunshine, which you don't have to shovel on Monday.
All those numbers are above average.
I like it.
Up next, we've got your local on the 8s. Will you stay with us? Huh?
I will.
Okay, perfect. See you in a minute.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 52. Thursday, mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, high 68. Thursday night, a few clouds from time to time, slight chance of a rain shower, low 63. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Snuggles with Mama.
Missing something? Like the BOGO event at Sears Optical. Right now, buy any pair of glasses and get a second pair free. Sears Optical. Don't miss a thing.
Can I have my squirrel?
You know, there's a more enjoyable way to get your fiber. Try Phillips Fiber Good Gummies. They're delicious and a good source of fiber to help support regularity.
These are good.
the tasty side of fiber from Philips.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all. That you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
You know what my business philosophy is, Reynolds?
No, not exactly.
To attain success, one must project success. That's why we use FedEx One Rate.
They're flat rate shipping.
Exactly. It makes us look top-notch, but we know it's affordable. Honey, haven't I asked you to please
We
use
don't
the
have a reception entrance.
Ship a pack via FedEx Express Saver for as low as $7.50.
This is Veronica. Rhonda.
Robert.
She takes care of me. She takes care of me, the kids, the calendar, the dog, the house.
Actually, he takes care of the house.
You could say everything good in my life is possible because of Veronica.
Because of Robert.
She's irreplaceable. She's irreplaceable.
No one like him.
Life insurance? Do we need that?
There are over 32 million irreplaceable wives and husbands in this country without life insurance. Loved ones who could have coverage for less than $1 a day.
We'll make it easy. Call me at United of Omaha and I'll give you a quote in about a minute. A $100,000 policy is as little as $23.20 a month. No medical exam is needed. And you could have coverage in 3 days.
That's it? 3 days? 3 days.
And he's covered?
She's covered? And she's covered.
We pay 87% of life insurance claims within a week.
I'm calling now.
Mutual of Omaha. Insure your possibilities. Call today.
Guys, we all have our reasons to lose weight. We want to feel better, perform better, and have more energy. Well, no more excuses.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus Kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist, or your money back, guaranteed.
Nutrisystem works. Don't believe me. Believe these guys. I lost 8 pounds in the first week.
This is the best I have felt in a long time.
I haven't felt this good in years. Thank you, Nutrisystem.
Thanks to Nutrisystem, now you can feel better, look better, and perform better at any age faster than ever before.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes and Craving Crusher shakes free. New food selections, new expert guides. Call now and lock in 2014 prices, and shipping is free.
Man up and send that extra weight packing.
Call 877-523-SIZE now and lose your first 5 pounds fast.
It's cold out there.
It is.
4 degrees in downtown Chicago. Forget the wind.
Right.
That makes it feel colder.
Well below zero.
And when it's this brutal, it's so important to take care of your home. If you don't, it could be a costly mistake.
Earlier today on AMHQ, Sam Champion talked to Dave White from Home Depot about how to reduce the damage from a frozen pipe, starting with the one thing every homeowner needs to know right now.
All right, so we know that a pipe has been probably frozen in the house. What do I do then?
So first thing I would do, even before this weather sets in, is make sure that you know where the main shutoff for your water supply is. And that's usually near the street. Usually it's covered with, you know, where the water meter is, where they check your water.
I have no idea where it is. All right, so this is something to do today. This is a great thing. Dave, all right.
Identify where that is, because if you do have pipes that are burst and the water starts pouring out of them, you'll need to be able to shut that off real quick. So
all right, it's going to be near the street, probably.
Yeah, usually it's on the street.
It's got a little. It's got that cover. That's where the
cover on it. It's buried. It's where your water meter is. And
I've turned around it before. I just didn't know what it was.
Sometimes you'll need a pair of pliers or especially like a key. That but you can use pliers if you need to shut that off.
All right, so find that.
So you know where that is, just in case. The next thing you want to do, obviously, I think Maria said earlier, if you turn your water on and it's barely dripping, there's probably a freeze somewhere in your pipes. Okay. Hopefully it's not burst the pipe, especially if you left your water dripping that night. So in order to identify where that is, it's a little tricky. So go to each faucet, with showers, tubs, particularly those that you know have a supply that comes up through the basement or crawl space.
Okay.
Anything that's sort of exposed to the weather. And then you can narrow that down to a certain area.
You can kind of guess where it is by turning the water on in the house and seeing where you have flow and where you don't have flow.
It's a little tricky.
We only have about 15 seconds, but the one thing I want to say is if you're going to warm them up, you can't build a fire under the house.
Nope.
So a hairdryer actually works, and so do heat lamps.
Heat lamps, hair dryers, as long as there's no water dripping, that would obviously create a safety hazard.
Don't stand with a plug, anything plugged in water.
And you might want to hold something behind the pipe, like a pie tin. That way it radiates the heat on the backside. Keep that faucet open, though, and then hopefully that warming water will help
Keep the faucet open, put something behind it. You can warm it up with just a typical hairdryer. Don't do that if it's leaking. If it's leaking, call the plumber right away, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Helpful information. Let's check on the 7-day forecast, and I want to set it up with this satellite loop. Now, I am standing underneath a ridge of high pressure. That's what we call it in the weather business. To my right, the clouds are moving from south to north, as you can see. To my left, the clouds are moving from north to south. So underneath this big ridge, it's quiet and it's warm. Some air stagnation issues, some morning fog issues, as you very well know here in Sacramento. Then we have a trough. It's the opposite. Clouds going north to south here, south to north there. That's where the cold, active weather is. Well, as long as we're sitting in this pattern, storms are not really moving, big storms are not moving west to east across the United States. We could use another big storm in California. We need the rain. Eventually, this ridge is going to break down. This trough is going to lift up. Next week, we'll have a more west to east flow. The Canadian connection will be shut off. Temperatures will get mild. We'll have more clouds and then precipitation. But for the time being, here comes another clipper, an area of low pressure out of Canada with another surge of Arctic air for the weekend. 2 for high temperature on Friday in Chicago. 52 in Seattle. You get the picture, right? Cold here under the trough and warm here. But the ridge in the west comes down. We're back in the 40s in Seattle. Rain is back. Rain moves into Portland too. And then a storm that's sitting off of Mexico, just lollygagging around, crosses Mexico. We'll see some moisture move in over the cold air. And then Sunday and Monday, things could get very interesting from the Ohio Valley, Mason-Dixon line northward. Tuesday, same story, another little disturbance coming from southwest to northeast, keeping us kind of icy and dicey from St. Louis all the way back to Boston. We'll keep you posted. Alex, back to you.
You're just minutes away from your winter weather update, but first, we've got to look at your local on the 8s. Look at Chicago right now. 4 degrees, Navy Pier overnight wind chills as low as -30.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. There we go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 52. Thursday, mostly cloudy. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 68. Thursday night, a few clouds from time to time. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 63. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Curling up in bed with a favorite book is nice, but I think women would rather curl up with their favorite man. But here's the thing. About half of men over 40 have some degree of erectile dysfunction. Well, Viagra helps guys with ED get and keep an erection. And remember, you only take it when you need it.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra. Push it.
Push it. Push it real good. Ooh, baby, baby. Baby, baby.
If you're Salt and Peppa, you tell people to push it.
Push it real good.
It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
I'm pushing it real good.
Hi, this is Connor. Sorry I missed you. I'm either away from my desk or on another call. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you just as soon as I'm available. Thank you for your patience at this busy time.
Join us for stargazing with Discovery at Sea. Enjoy cruises from $4.99 during our 50th anniversary sale. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises. Come back new.
Your mom's got your back. Your friends have your back. Your dog's definitely got your back. But who's got your back when you need legal help? We do. We're LegalZoom. And over the last 10 years, we've helped millions of people protect their families and run their businesses. We have the right people on hand to answer your questions, backed by a trusted network of...
Can you read this for me?
We invited 29 people to test their vision.
I can't read this at all. Here, try Adlin's Adjustables.
Awesome.
You just turn the little wheels.
As you're turning the knob, things just like come into view.
Wow.
I love that you can adjust it for whatever you're doing.
P-O-T-E-Z. Oh, yes. This is great.
I mean, I can't believe it, actually, that I'm adjusting the glasses to my eyesight.
I can read a book. I can read the signs at the train station. I can get a better look at you. What if I told you they were only $29.99?
Okay, I wouldn't believe you. I'd say you're lying. Oh, wow, I'd get like 3 pairs.
Can I buy them now?
29 people experienced a new way to help them see. For $29.99, you can see for yourself. And they make a great gift. Call 800-568-ADLENS or visit adlens.com. That's 800-568-2353. Order now.
1-800-300-8335. 1-800-300-8335.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
I'm in the lab with Carl Parker. Good to have you. It is 7 minutes before the hour. And Carl, we were just geeking out over another visible satellite image and looking at this Lake Winnebago here in Wisconsin. It's totally frozen over. Can you see that? That's just ice. Well, it's actually snow on top of the ice.
Snow on top of ice.
Right.
And you see a lot of snow cover there, and you see a beautiful clear sky, except over the lake. So you've got this northwesterly flow of cold, very cold, dry air coming over the lake. And then when it hits the lake is much warmer air, relatively speaking, and so suddenly that air is warmed and you've got instability. You've got a big change in temperature from the boundary layer, as we call it, as you go up in the atmosphere, and you're also picking up moisture, and so we go from this clear sky to the development of cloud there in these cloud streets, and then they begin to congeal into bands of snow, and that's classic lake effect snow. They're coming off Lake Michigan.
Effect snow, but they typically don't get like a whole lot of lake effect snow because, you know, it's coming across the narrowest part of the lake, right?
Exactly right. Every once in a while, when the winds are coming out of the north, you'll see a very long band developing, and those bands can clobber places like LaPorte, Indiana. But you're right, with that shorter fetch, we tend to get more bands, multiple bands, and not the one big band where we're getting convergence all down the length of the lake.
So this is lake effect.
That is lake effect.
Meaning that if there were no lake there would be no snow.
You wouldn't have it.
Okay.
You have to have the warmth of the water. But it doesn't just happen on the lakes. It also happens in the ocean. The ocean is pretty darn warm relative to this air, and so as that very cold air comes out and over top of the Atlantic Ocean, we see once again the development of these cloud streets. And sure enough, we look at the radar picture and voila, there it is. Snow showers developing right over the ocean, and some of those affecting southeastern Mass, now coming towards Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard and the Cape, but for the most part it is offshore. Now, we've got a high resolution model, and we love these models because they look great. They're not always perfectly accurate, but they are very good tools. And this is the RPM model, and it's showing you the area of rain out ahead of the Arctic front. Here's the Arctic front, then it comes through, and we'll step this forward, and you see the development of these cloud streets and the ocean effect snow. And then you also see how it mirrors the coastline, but then right in here there are a couple of little notches that go out even more. And those are bay plumes. So that is where the air is converging over the bay, coming together because of the relative warmth of the bay, in that case the Delaware Bay, and then that convergence creates that plume at a greater distance, and we see that all the time. We see it all the time on visible satellite imagery. It's amazing that the model is has such high resolution that it knows to do that.
Right, and the air's been over the water for a longer period right here too.
Right.
So it's forming clouds sooner.
Exactly.
In addition to the convergence.
In addition to the convergence, exactly right.
Cool.
Yeah. Just a beautiful image there. So that is ocean effect, and we're going to see plenty of that offshore, well offshore over the next day or so. Now, the other thing we want to talk about is what's going to happen in the southern plains. And I'll tell you, the models have been all over the place about this. But generally what we know is we've got this big cold air mass, and we're going to see a series of disturbances coming up and pulling up moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and that moisture is likely to interact with that cold air. Now, it may very well be that it overrides the cold air such that we get rain falling into the cold air and we get freezing rain. That's going to be a worry in Texas, and then up into the Mid-South on Sunday, and then perhaps eventually into, say, the Carolinas, the Mid-Atlantic region, maybe parts of the Ohio Valley on Monday, though again the models are still back and forth about this idea. We really haven't settled in on a solution at this time.
So this is all due to the cold air that's spilling southward right now?
All due to the cold air. Yep, when you've got that cold air in place, just add a little moisture and pow.
Let's go deeper into the story. Alex is in the studio.
Well, we've been showing all the different kinds of impacts that these bitter cold temperatures are having across the country, and that does include a lot of schools. We're going to focus on Georgia at this hour because local media reports that school buses in Catoosa County, Georgia, well north of Atlanta, are going to do something interesting. They're going to go door to door to pick up the kids. They're urging children to stay inside until they see the bus actually stop in front of their home. They'll honk the horn if they need to. 7 North Georgia counties, including Catoosa, will start 2 hours later than usual tomorrow.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 52. Thursday, mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, high 68. Thursday night, a few clouds from time to time, slight chance of a rain shower, low 63. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You can practically hear the brutally cold air rushing in from the Arctic. Yep, that was it. You know what? If you weren't hearing it there, how about this? On our maps, you can see it. Those cold colors, the blues, the purples, they're spreading further south tonight through tomorrow. We are talking freezing temperatures as far south as Central Florida. I know, you can't believe it. Or your eyes just frozen
I'm
open.
speechless.
I know. Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for watching Weather Center Live. I'm Alex Wilson.
And I'm Dave Schwartz. You'll find signs of this cold air almost everywhere you look, including in Buffalo, where they are de-icing planes at the airport, as you can see here. But the cold air, I'll tell you, this is no joke.
No, if you need proof that it is a big deal, take a look at the U.S. Weather Alert map. All of these areas in blue you're seeing is a type of wind chill alert, whether it's an advisory or a warning. But included in these alerts, more than 183 million people, 58% of the population.
And the cold and snow from our last winter storm, the last one, is still causing problems today. In Fort Wayne, Indiana, emergency crews used a crane to retrieve a truck that slid into a creek overnight. Now, the driver's okay. He got out and left there. For more on the cold, here's Alex.
Oh, that had to be a scary scenario. Luckily, he was able to make it out safely. You know, the cold, the huge story because it's affecting a huge part of the country. Look at the deep south. We're talking the Gulf Coast, hard freeze warnings and freeze warnings in effect for tomorrow morning. And just about everywhere, we've got wind chill alerts. Yeah, South Florida, you're excluded, but anywhere along the Gulf Coast, with the exception of that far southern portion of Louisiana, wind chill advisories. And then as you get up into North Georgia, the mountains of Tennessee, North Carolina, that's where we've got a few wind chill warnings in effect. But we are talking about dangerous cold. Wind speeds right now, 26 miles per hour in Jackson, 28 miles per hour in Atlanta. If you're looking out the office windows, you can see lit up by the lights, some of those trees blowing around. Memphis, 18-mile-per-hour winds. So that's taking the cold temps, making them feel even colder. Wind chill values right now, 10 in Memphis, 18 Atlanta, 25 is your feels-like temperature in Jackson. So we're already feeling it, and boy, are you going to feel it tomorrow morning. Morning temperatures, 10 in Memphis, 13 Atlanta, 14 in Raleigh by Friday morning. More 20s, but still a few teens left in spots like Raleigh. Still, wind chill values will be making it feel colder. And Saturday morning, another cold one with temps in the teens and 20s across the southeast. So for Atlanta, how does this compare to your average? Well, average low this time of year, 34 degrees. Tomorrow, 13. We stay in the low 20s on Friday and Saturday. Back closer to, but still below average by the end of the weekend. In the northeast, wind chill advisories, wind chill warnings in effect everywhere. You see that blue shading, whether it's the lighter blue or the darker blue. And look at these wind chill values. For your late day drive home, minus 25 your feels like temperature in Minneapolis, minus 27 in Chicago. Overnight, it'll be as low as minus 30 at times in Chicago, minus 22 in Minneapolis, minus 15 early tomorrow morning in Omaha. Buffalo feels like minus 10 at 6 a.m. Feels like minus 24 early tomorrow morning in Indianapolis. And when we talk about temperatures, single digits for Traverse City, below zero in Chicago and in Indianapolis. By Friday morning, we're above zero, but barely in Chicago. Saturday morning to start your weekend, minus 7 in Fargo and Minneapolis, minus 1 in Cleveland, 3 in Omaha, 5 in Buffalo. Sault Ste. Marie also in the single digits. In Minneapolis, your average low is 8, below zero for the next few days, barely above the mark into early and mid next week, Dave.
And you pay for it when you live in Minneapolis this time of year, huh? Great sound, though. Along with the cold air, several areas are dealing with snow, and some of it's been heavy. The Arctic air is helping to enhance lake effect snow in the Great Lakes region. Storm specialist Carl Parker joins us from the lab with that side of the story. Carl.
Dave, we got 2 feet of snow in Watertown, New York. That's in northern New York and right along 81 near the Tug Hill Plateau and coming off of Lake Ontario. And this is a look at the radar picture late last night, midnight until 4 a.m. And look at that band just cranking coming into Watertown and then right across Interstate 81, then slowly sagging to the south. Now, this was right before we saw a really dramatic change in the atmosphere. A polar front was getting ready to come through, and when that front came through, it switched the winds around, and then that band migrated southward and went right down into parts of Pennsylvania and southeastern New York. Really stayed intact as the winds switched around and more towards the north-northwest. And a vestige of that band actually made its way into the tri-state area earlier this evening, and across parts of New Jersey and also south central PA there, lower Susquehanna Valley, even down towards Baltimore and D.C. So right now we're seeing lingering snow showers, lake effect snow showers coming right across Ontario, narrow band, now moving into northwest PA where we've had about 7-8 inches. Also some snow showers coming into the Cleveland, Akron areas and farther south and west. And then we've also got this area of snow showers, lake effect snow showers in southwestern lower Michigan, now around Benton Harbor, South Bend, but it's thinning out considerably as compared to what we saw earlier today. So generally speaking, winds coming out of the northwest across the lakes, that is going to shut off early tomorrow. This is the high resolution model, and we're going to watch some warming coming in aloft, and then this clipper will move through. So we see a large area of light snow coming through later tomorrow in particular, and then in the wake of that we'll find yet more lake effect snow kicking in, coming off of Lakes Michigan, Erie, and Ontario. So the very same areas that were hit just now are going to get it again going through Friday. Looking at a pretty sizable area of 8 to 12 there in western lower Michigan. Also a large area of several inches, western New York, northwestern PA, and then that Tug Hill Plateau where we got as much as a couple of feet could be an additional couple of feet of snow on the way through the next couple of days. Dave, Alex, back to you.
Thank you, Carl. Well, it is just the beginning of this Arctic blast that's impacting more than 180 million Americans.
And if you live in Chicago to Minneapolis, well, we show you the dangerous temperatures you'll be waking up to, and it's well below, it's already 0.
We've got Jake Ray there. Poor guy is freezing. We're going to check in with him next.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So we said, if you need Safelite to come to the zoo, we'll come to the zoo. Oh yeah, we can fix that. Only Safelite can fix your windshield anywhere in the U.S. with our exclusive mobile glass shops and our one-of-a-kind True Seal technology for a reliable bond.
Thanks so much.
Service that fits your schedule. Hey. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Seatbelts, headrests, and airbags help you survive a crash. But if you upgrade your headlights, you may even avoid one. See farther, wider, better. Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
I am never getting married.
We're never having kids. We are never moving to the suburbs. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Stop by your neighborhood Ace and we'll help you get organized. 18-gallon totes, $3.99 after $1 instant savings.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Fiber One now makes cookies. Find them in the cookie aisle.
This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It's going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower. Low 52, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower. High 68, winds north-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Thursday night, a few clouds from time to time, slight chance of a rain shower. Low 63. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The Weather Channel unearths the investigations, the mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
Here, kitty. Here, kitty. Oh, this comes
snuggles with Mama.
Missing something? Like the BOGO event at Sears Optical. Right now, buy any pair of glasses and get a second pair free. Sears Optical. Don't miss a thing.
Can I have my squirrel?
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this.
Danger. Warning.
You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
Danger.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Started my Camry. Picked up someone I hadn't seen in far too long. Went somewhere we'd both never been. Did something we'd both never done. And was reminded that the most important things in life aren't things, they're people.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
This just in, we received word that Milwaukee public schools are closed tomorrow because of the cold. And you know, Chicago, another spot feeling the sting. We don't know about their schools yet,
right,
but at least Milwaukee's saying we're not going tomorrow.
Chicago's were closed today.
Yeah.
Minneapolis, Indianapolis, closed because of the cold.
Might keep an eye on that, parents who live in the Chicago area.
Check their website. NBC's Jay Gray is in Chicago. Days of double-digit wind chills in the Windy City so far, Jay, and more to come. How are people coping there?
Jay, how are you coping?
Yeah,
I feel for you.
Alex, Dave, it's chilly. Layers are the key right now. You guys were talking about school. It was canceled here today. The thought is it will be tomorrow as well. They haven't pulled the trigger on that, but there's a lot of talk about it, and most think it's going to happen again tomorrow. Look, right now here at Navy Pier, there are sheets of ice in the water, obviously. It's 3 degrees. The wind chill, 17 below. As the sun goes down, everything's getting colder.
Blowing snow, bitter winds, and millions bundled up as an Arctic system tightens its grip across much of the country. School buses were empty in more than 200 districts across the Midwest. The temperature's too cold for kids to go to class. Patches of ice wrecked roadways, cars spinning out of control and sliding off highways across the region. Temperatures continue to drop and wind chills in many areas are well below zero. Dangerous, potentially deadly, especially for those who have nowhere to go for protection from the extreme conditions.
We keep an eye on them, make sure they are doing okay for the night.
The Chicago family is now looking for shelter after an overnight fire ravaged their home. Initially, crews struggled to fight that blaze, dealing with frozen radios and hydrants.
For about the first half hour we were here, we were not able to get water.
The water in Lake Michigan is mostly solid now, steam climbing from the ice as temperatures continue to fall.
Yeah, Dave, it is chilly. It's going to get even colder here, and tomorrow they'll add an inch or two of snow to the mix. I know over at O'Hare it's probably a bit colder than it is here, but hey, when you're going from 0 to 3, who cares, right?
You're right, Jay. Man, thanks a lot for hanging in there on a cold day like this.
Thanks.
It is 0 at O'Hare Airport right now, 3 at Midway, closer to where Jay is. With unlimited sun. We haven't had a cloud in the sky overhead in Chicago all day long. There's our wind chill at 21 below zero. It is nasty. You know, this Arctic air, and by the way, we are forecasting a record low tomorrow morning in Chicago, 12 below zero, and there'll still be some wind to take that wind chill value down. The old record was set back during World War II. Now, this cold air, the cold front, has just moved into Albuquerque. From the east, winds are gusting to 50 miles an hour in Albuquerque from the east. This cold air mass making it all the way across the southern Rockies now. Indianapolis, Chicago, Minneapolis, Detroit, everybody's got these wind chill alerts. Basically, what you've seen today, what you've got right now, you'll pretty much have tomorrow. Those are the kind of conditions we're going to have to contend with. So there may be some schools closed. Maybe you have some optional activities tomorrow that you'd rather forego. Not such a bad idea. When it gets this cold, you've really got to take care of number one, the bod. 23 degrees below zero is our current wind chill in Green Bay. Some modification is coming up here next week. Here's Philadelphia. It's cold there too. We'll be back.
It's out there, waiting on your steps, your sidewalk, your driveway. It laughs at rock salt. It's ice. It fears only heat. Introducing new driveway heat from Prestone. Each concentrated pellet heats up like a furnace to melt up to 4 times more ice than rock salt with no residue. Put your driveway in the Prestone zone with new driveway heat and kiss your ice goodbye.
Look for Prestone driveway heat at these local retailers.
Saving and smiling. That's how I start the year. With tons of stuff on rollback, clearance, and more at Walmart. And that really puts a smile on my face.
Thousands of items on rollback and clearance, in-store and online.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with efficiency? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. I better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
So, you say men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Then how do I get this?
Safe driving bonus check. Every 6 months without an accident, Allstate sends a check. Okay. Silence. Are you in good hands?
Listen up. I'm reworking the menu. Veggies, you're cool. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here.
The complete balanced nutrition of great tasting Ensure. 24 vitamins and minerals, 9 grams of protein, with 30% less sugars than before. Ensure, your #1 doctor-recommended brand, now introduces Ensure Active. Muscle health, clear protein drink, and high protein. Targeted nutrition to feed your active life. Ensure, take life in.
This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It's going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this!
I am the luckiest woman in the world because I was one of the first people to sail on Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line's beautiful Grand Celebration, the newest and best cruise to the Bahamas. With 2 fun-filled nights on the ship, a spectacular day in the Bahamas, and prices from just $149, you can get lucky too. Call 800-814-7100. That's 800-814-7100. And let the fun begin.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Chris. And according to Mama, we're brothers.
Clearly. At a firehouse table just like this, we learned about the tradition of great food and lots of it.
From the start, every firehouse sub has honored our firefighter roots.
That's right. Take the hook and ladder sub, loaded with turkey, honey ham, Monterey Jack, steam heated. It's the sub that started the fire.
And now, the light version. Only $5.49, just 450 calories. Perfect for you, Robin.
Why are you looking at me?
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
855-714-8687. Every Sunday night.
Get down now!
Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a few passing clouds. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 52. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun early, then becoming cloudy in the afternoon. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 68. Thursday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 63, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I want to show you a few gorgeous sunsets. You know, it may be cold, but at least you've got something nice to look out the window at. This is New York City, where winds are gusting 40 miles per hour. As Dave said rightly, you're going to feel that walking in between buildings. And you know, delays at LaGuardia and at JFK due to the wind between 1 and 2 hours. Here's D.C. You can see the White House and the flag lit up, the Washington Monument behind. It looks like a little bit of a breeze kicking there. You're getting in on that cold as well tonight to D.C. One more city for you right along that 95 corridor, right in between those two cities. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, north of D.C., south of New York City. Let's talk about temperatures. New York, we start there, 19 degrees. In Albany, it's 7. In Syracuse, it's 3. In Buffalo, it is 4. Jamestown and Binghamton, both 1 degree. As we look at D.C., you've got low 20s. Same for Philadelphia. Boston also in the low 20s, around 21. 2 in Burlington, 12 in Bangor, Maine. Wind chill alerts in effect for much of the Northeast, even into the Ohio Valley and Midwest. We've got warnings as well, wind chill warnings, where you see that deeper blue. So northern tier of New York, upstate New York, getting into parts of New England, and then you see some of those into parts of western Ohio through the state of Indiana, Michigan, as well as a bit of Illinois. Wind chill forecasts show that those wind chills minus 21 for Binghamton and Burlington. That's at 6 o'clock tonight, so dinner time going to be frigid. As we head into the late evening overnight, Buffalo goes from minus 14 to a minus 8 degree wind chill. Feels like minus 5 in New York early tomorrow morning. Around lunchtime, D.C. still feels like temperatures in the single digits. Boston tomorrow at 11 feels like minus 7. Through the week's end, that massive Arctic high dropping off towards the south, and that means we're going to get in on below freezing temperatures all the way to the Gulf Coast. Dave.
Wow, that's cold. Now, can you imagine heading north when it's this cold down here? Well, that's where we're heading, Barrow, Alaska. Look at it. It's 1:22 in the afternoon. It's dark and 19 below. Well, since November 18th, people have been living in the dark. The sun isn't going to rise there till January 23rd. In this edition of Brainstorm, Sam Champion explains why this happens and how it affects people who live there.
Barrow, Alaska, the northernmost town in the United States. It sits over 300 miles north of the Arctic Circle. Its remote location exposes it to some of the most extreme conditions of any populated area on the planet, including about 65 days a year of near total darkness. This Arctic darkness is caused by the 23.4 degree tilt of the Earth's axis. Because of this, each pole spends half a year facing away from the sun. Beginning with the autumn equinox in late September, the sun sets at the North Pole. By the time we get to the winter solstice in late December, the entire region above 66 degrees north sees no sun at all. With Barrow situated at 71 degrees north, their Arctic darkness stretches between November and January. This prolonged absence of sunlight is one reason temperatures can drop below minus 30 degrees in Barrow. And with an average wind speed of 12 miles per hour, during the extended darkness, the wind chill can reach minus 55 degrees. And that's about 80 degrees lower than the average temperature on the moon, and can cause frostbite in as little as 5 minutes. And living in nonstop darkness can also disturb the body's circadian rhythms. Normally, the level of melatonin, the hormone that governs our sleep, is lowest in the morning and peaks late at night. But during Arctic darkness, melatonin production can surpass even the highest normal levels by as much as 30%. As a result, if you live in Barrow, Alaska, it's not unusual to feel drowsy during the day for more than 2 months at a time.
Well,
You've
today,
been brainstormed.
I was brainstormed. Well, we're going to talk more about maybe brain freeze.
Yeah,
coming up.
by the weekend, some of you could be sliding on ice. Ahead, who faces a frozen mix of rain or sleet? Keep it right here.
I am never getting married.
We're never having kids. We are never moving to the suburbs. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
She inspires you. No question about that. But your erectile dysfunction? That could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
At Ancestry, we call it a hint. Our little leaf that helps guide you through the past. Simply type in a name, and you're taken on a journey. A journey that crosses generations and continents, all to tell the most amazing story. Yours. Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com.
Discover card. Hey, so I'm looking at my bill and my FICO credit score is on here.
We give you your FICO score each month for free.
Awesome sauce.
Wow. The only person I know that says that is Lisa.
Julie?
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Get the IT card and see your FICO credit score.
Each year, 17 billion toilet paper tubes are thrown away. Enough to fill the Empire State Building. Twice. Toss the tube for good with Scott Naturals Tube Free.
Your mom's got your back. Your friends have your back. Your dog's definitely got your back. But who's got your back when you need legal help? We do. We're LegalZoom. And over the last 10 years, we've helped millions of people protect their families and run their businesses. We have the right people on hand to answer your questions, backed by a trusted network of attorneys. So visit us today for legal help you can count on. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Ring, ring. Progresso. I can't believe I'm eating bacon-enriched creamy cheese before my sister's wedding.
Well, it's only 100 calories, so you'll be ready for that dress.
Uh-huh.
You don't love the dress?
I love my sister.
40 flavors, 100 calories or less.
Severe weather can strike anywhere, so the Weather Channel encourages you to get prepared for a weather emergency today. And we're making it easy for everyone. Go to connectwithweather.com. Follow the easy step-by-step instructions and create your own emergency plan. Connect with weather. Know the elements. Make your plan.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a few passing clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 52, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun early, then becoming cloudy in the afternoon. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 68. Thursday night, partly cloudy. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 63. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Well, while watching this show, we've learned a few things. First, that it's extremely cold. But second, that people who love Chick-fil-A love Chick-fil-A. Look at these hardy folks camping out for free food at a new Chick-fil-A in Dumfries, Virginia. 1 hour ago, we showed you the group camped out in Kansas, and these people are out there getting ready because the first 100 people in line.
The first 100 survivors in line.
Survivors
of the night.
When the Chick-fil-A doors open, will get free Chick-fil-A for a year and maybe a hug from that warm cow. Right now it is 21 degrees in Dumfries, just south of D.C. The wind chill 5.
Nice shot on the sand with the sandbags. Did you see that? He made it.
Did he?
Yeah, on cue.
I like it.
Hey, welcome back to Weather Center Live at 1:30. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Chick-fil-A coffee sales are going to be going up because the cold is the story everybody's talking about. And you're going to want to get that coffee from a drive-thru because you're not even going to want to get out of your car.
Right.
More than 180 million Americans under a wind chill alert right now.
That's more than half the country.
Right.
More than half the population. Look how far south the freezing line drops. Into South Texas. You know, the forecast for tomorrow morning, for late tonight in Brownsville, Texas, that's way down there.
Right.
Chance of rain, upper 30s. We could have some sleet down there somewhere.
They're going, wait a second, what? Here in Brownsville?
Yeah.
And when we talk about wind chill values, take a look. This is later tonight, 6 o'clock. For Chicago, for your drive home, it's going to feel like minus 24, minus 17 in Bismarck. Kansas City, you're going to see wind chills as low as minus 10, 11 overnight. Look at tomorrow morning, though, minus 15, minus 13 in Pittsburgh, minus 20 in Boston.
You know, I'm just getting cold just standing next to this graphic. I'm going to take a couple steps.
We need a heater out here.
Yeah, we need a heater, and we also need another map to show us how cold it's going to be, don't we?
Yeah, this one
like
just,
a hole in the head.
Exactly. Yeah. This one has the 0 degree line to just show you how cold it's going to be for parts of the northern plains, the upper Midwest, even into the Northeast.
But this really is serious. It's impacting people. School systems are closing. That impacts people who are working. You know, you have to stay home with the kids.
Right.
This whole thing. Carl Parker is in the lab. He's live in the lab with a closer look at this epic outbreak. Carl.
And Dave, we've started a little trash can fire here in the lab. We don't know if that's against the rules or not, but I guess we'll check with the fire marshals shortly. Here's a look at the satellite picture, and you can see this incredible cold wave that has come down. Big dip in the jet stream right through there, and this is going to be dominating our weather right through the weekend. Here's a look at the current wind chills across the country. Whenever you get a big change in temperature, you get a big change in pressure, and that means a lot of wind. And minus 21 is what it feels like in Chicago right now, minus 26 in Preston, and minus 30 in Rhinelander, and this dangerous cold is going to continue into tomorrow morning. Frostbite is possible on exposed skin inside of 30 minutes at that level, at minus 30, and that's what we'll see in Chicago tomorrow morning. So here's the broader picture. Here's the big dip in the jet stream once again. You've got a really exaggerated pattern, big ridge across the west and big dip in the east. Now what's going to happen over the next several days is that pattern is going to flatten out a little bit. You've got a lot of energy here across the Pacific Ocean, couple of disturbances and a lot of west wind that's going to come in and begin to break down that ridge across the west, and that is going to help to flatten out the pattern. So another big wave of cold coming through the lakes on Friday, but then we see going into this weekend again more of a westerly flow, a moderating trend beginning, and we'll see even more of that most likely in the longer term. And in fact, here's a look at Chicago over the next 10 days. Now we're going to get up probably to just about freezing by the time we get into the early part of next week. 31 degrees on Tuesday, the average high 31. Look at this incredible cold until then, though. 2 on Friday. Then it gets a little chillier once again, but then in the much longer term, here's a look at the European model, and so we do get up again to near average there, but then going out to the 18th and the 20th, you see that we do finally start to get above average. And in fact, this particular model, this European model, does show a lot of moderation across a lot of the country going out to weeks 2 and 3. So we shall see if it actually comes to pass. Sometimes the models will do this and it doesn't actually happen that way, but could very well be that we see a nice moderating trend going into the middle of January. Dave, Alex, back to you.
Nice to see that there's light at the end of the tunnel, Carl. Thank you so much. Well, in the Deep South, a cold outbreak is especially newsworthy because it doesn't get this cold this often. You know, those of us who live in Minneapolis, Detroit, Chicago, Milwaukee, we're used to it. But in Pensacola, Florida, they're not so used to a low temperature of 20. Why? It's never happened in recorded history. The old record is 21, set back in 1970. Now, you might say, you know, you live in Pensacola, it's 55 degrees outside right now. That's not too bad, right? Well, the Arctic boundary just passed through Troy, Alabama, and that's just to your north. So we're going to get some strong winds in here in a couple of hours, and the temperatures plummet. All along the Gulf Coast, Cameron, Louisiana, Beaumont, Texas, New Orleans, Mobile, Jacksonville, Florida, everybody under these new warnings. By the way, the reason we don't see warnings up here for Oak City or Raleigh or Columbia or Atlanta is because you've had a hard freeze already. This will be the first one. This will be the shock for people who live in Jackson and Montgomery, for example. And boy, is it cold and windy out there right now. Wind chill alerts for obvious reasons, even into central Florida, all the way down to the north shore of Lake Okeechobee. So this is some outbreak. 38 degrees. That is our wind chill forecast for 25 minutes from now in Mobile. But that ain't nothing. Look how it just drops precipitously or head first down into the single digits by morning. Orlando with a wind chill below freezing. So you're going to have to bundle up even at Epcot Center and at the beach. Jacksonville Beach, 24 degrees is our wind chill forecast for tomorrow morning. Atlanta, super cold, ridiculously cold. Tomorrow morning, we're expecting a low temperature, forget the wind, just a low temperature of 13, 19 at Raleigh. And here is a look at Saturday's low temperatures. Not quite as cold, but still way below average. So, Alex.
Yeah.
When it gets this cold, we like to check in with reporters.
Right.
You know, and some reporters we pay a mint, like that Jay Gray. We give thousands of dollars. But we got some free stuff in here.
We do. Our Facebook friends have been kind of sharing with us what they like. And, you know, Allison said it's 3 degrees in West Fargo, North Dakota, with a wind chill advisory for 40 to 50 below. First winter in North Dakota might be my last.
Oh,
poor thing. Hang in there, Allison. North Dakota wants you to stay.
Their economy's doing great.
Yeah,
North Dakota.
They'd love to have Allison. You know who else is a Hardy Bunch?
Bob Honneman?
He is. This guy is in Montauk, New York, and he says, I'm not going to let a little snow scare me. I'm not going to let the cold scare me. I've got the hot tub. All I need.
Yeah.
Right?
He's inside now, I guarantee it.
Probably. And Brad Wilson says it's 14 degrees out. It's windy to boot, cold enough to make me think about moving south. And everybody hates moving. So when it's cold enough to make you think about moving, you know it's serious.
But with this outbreak, you're going to have to move way south, like Nicaragua.
Exactly.
You know, or someplace. Jamaica. It is cold. Oh, speaking of that.
How about that?
Can I just breathe that air in for a second?
That's not even fair. Gosh, that looks amazing.
Oh, I love this. Yeah, South Beach. Well, it was near 80 today in Miami, but even here it's going to be cooling down. But
72?
I said, well, that's, 8 degrees.
For them, hey, it is cooler. As you mentioned, you know, lows in the low 60s early Friday.
Yeah, they'll be complaining. They'll be the biggest complainers tomorrow. I guarantee it, South Florida.
South Florida, we want to hear from you, and make sure you hashtag Minneapolis or Chicago on that, too, so they can get in. We'll start some Twitter wars.
Well, coming up next here in the Weather Channel, we've got your local on the 8s.
We've also got the 7-day forecast, and Jim Cantori is at Home Depot. He's live, and he'll be up next.
He's got a new part-time job. Let's see how he's doing.
Right.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a few passing clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 52, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun early, then becoming cloudy in the afternoon, slight chance of a rain shower, high 68. Thursday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 63, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
Have you ever thought about trying eHarmony? Then we've got something exciting just for you. Our free communication weekend and extended days for New Year's. We're giving away unprecedented access, including sending messages to matches who interest you. Kick off the new year right and really experience eHarmony for free. It's the first step in finding that perfect person for you. Connect for free during this special kickoff.
Introducing a PM pain reliever that dares to work all the way until the AM. New Aleve PM, the only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour strength of Aleve.
What makes it an SUV is what you can get into it. What makes it an NX is what you can get out of it. Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Guess what goes really well with eggs? Pillsbury Grand's biscuits make breakfast even better. Grand's biscuits make breakfast pop.
You know, some people have told me reverse mortgages sound too good to be true. I mean, you get cash out of your home, no monthly payments, and still own your home. There's got to be a catch, right, Jesse? Well, there isn't. It's like any other mortgage, only with a reverse mortgage, the loan's paid back when the last borrower leaves the home. In fact, reverse mortgages are based on a notion that President Reagan signed into law over 25 years ago in order to help seniors remain in their homes. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you may qualify for a government-insured reverse mortgage with AAG that allows you to turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. And with AAG, there are never any income or credit score requirements.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive a new free information kit, including a reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from people like you, and a brand new family guide for children and loved ones, all absolutely free with no obligation.
AAG can help you pay off credit card debt, eliminate monthly mortgage payments, and provide some real retirement security.
Call 1-800-661-0312 today to get your free AAG reverse mortgage information kit and bonus DVD.
In the kits, you'll receive a helpful 3-part guide. The first will show you how a government-insured reverse mortgage allows you to access the equity in your home as tax-free cash. 500,000 people have already done it. The second booklet contains stories told by people just like you who've had their lives changed forever using a reverse mortgage. And the third guide is full of helpful answers and information for children and loved ones.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free.
There's simply an effective way for folks just like you to get the cash you need to enjoy your retirement.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free. Call 1-800-661-0312 now.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
In less than 60 minutes, emergency managers and police in Nashville will start cold patrols, looking for people out in the elements. And with Arctic cold reaching deep into the south, now is the time to prepare.
Our own Jim Cantori is at a Home Depot in Metro Atlanta with some important ways you can shield your home against this dangerous cold. Hey, Jim.
Yeah, because this is kind of a rare cold outbreak and we're seeing temperatures that are well below average here, there are things in and around your home that certainly face freezing up. And one of those, of course, is your pipes. So here to help us wrap your pipes, my good friend Faye LeCondre, and she is a project specialist here who's very well decorated, by the way, here at the Home Depot in Vinings. Let's start with this.
Yes.
We'll start, and it's copper, not the plastic ones you have to.
Absolutely. You should make sure that you wrap your copper piping so it doesn't freeze. And I have the
pipe insulation right here so I can show it to you.
This is on aisle 11 here, guys. Again, we're at the Home Depot here in Vinings, Georgia. And you can basically take your pipe size and you can grab the respective cover for it and then obviously put a pipe in there, right?
And then you
How hard is this to do? Is this a 1 or 2 person project?
This is a pretty easy job. I can do it myself, so make sure any lady can do it. And I'll show you how easy it is. It has a self-adhesive sticker right in here. You stick the pipe in here, and here you go. You can just peel this off and seal it up, and your pipe is now insulated.
Now, the pipe's already there. So you're working this around the pipe, right?
Right. And then you just open this up and wrap the pipes around. And
just take this off and it essentially adheses to the pipe.
Exactly, yes.
Corners. Oftentimes you see a lot of corners in plumbing.
Yes, and the pipe, we even have the corner pieces right here.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, so we have corner pieces as well.
1 inch,
yes.
Or if you got a T junction. Fantastic.
Yes.
All right, so it's pipes, and one of the things I was kind of surprised to hear about was water heaters. You got a hot water heater, but yet it can freeze too.
Yes, because it's usually exposed in your garage, and of course, there's no insulation in the garage, so the water heater will freeze. So that's why we're selling blankets that you can wrap your water heater with.
Let's walk our way over to aisle 11 and through here and talk about how you do this. Now, is that a little bit of a harder project because you've got all these, all this plumbing coming in and out of that thing, or is it a little bit easier?
It's easy. It's pretty easy because all you have to do is open up the blanket and wrap it from in back of the water heater, like
we've started one for the sake of this.
So
I saw you do it. It didn't take long at all.
Yes, I took it and put it around here, and then you make sure that you don't cover up your venting right down here, and you don't cover up your main parts right here. And all you do is come up with your tape and you finish wrapping it all up. Keep it fully secure.
Yeah, anything that's vented or has holes in it, like the bottom of this water heater.
Yes.
Obviously, we're getting air in through here. It's really the main body of the water heater
Exactly. So you keep it nice and warm.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about this. Dripping the water faucets, which is what they tell, a lot of the apartment complexes, which is more popular here in the Vinings area. They say just let the water drip a little bit. Why is that?
Yes, so that your pipes don't freeze. You must keep your faucets just dripping just a little bit so that they don't freeze. And also, make sure you keep your cabinet doors open so that you can get a full airflow and everything stays nice and warm.
All right, so a little bit of air in those cabinets.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, guys, stick around for the next several hours. We will talk about what you do to your windows, all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, weather stripping for your doors and everything.
What do you think of this cold, by the way?
It's New York cold here, and I'm from New York City, and I'm telling you, I think like I brought the cold here to Georgia with me.
All right, Faye, thanks a lot.
You're
all right, Schwartzy, get home and wrap your pipes. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jim. Well, you really had somebody you could deal with there, huh? 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm right in my element, baby.
Right. Appreciate it,
right in my element.
It's going to stay cold where Jim is all the way into the weekend. Look at the high temperature on Friday in Atlanta, 41. Their average highs in the mid-50s. And Dallas, your average highs in the mid-50s. You'll be 36. You'll be deep into the clouds, and there could even be a little frozen precipitation anywhere from Texas all the way up into the Ohio Valley. Meanwhile, in the west, there'll be some changes. All of a sudden, the atmosphere will be stirred up. The air stagnation advisories will be gone in Portland. Rain in the forecast Saturday and Sunday. Cooler for Los Angeles and Phoenix after a high in the low 80s in Phoenix today. Now this.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh.
Sit.
You train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, I mean, it is lunchtime, so.
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, yeah.
Must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Low Doggies, starting at $1.29. And save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
There was a time when the sea gave way to the sky, raising an amazing destination like no other. Atlantis. Discover amazing savings this winter. Stay 4 nights and receive a $250 airfare credit. Atlantis.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a few passing clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 52, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun early, then becoming cloudy in the afternoon, slight chance of a rain shower, high 68. Thursday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 63, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. There we go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
Stop by your neighborhood Ace and we'll help you get organized. 18-gallon totes, $3.99 after $1 instant savings.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
If you're driving and you can't see clearly for 1 second at 60 miles per hour, you can't see clearly for 88 feet. And a lot can happen in 88 feet. That's why Bosch created the new Icon with ClearMax 365. It's a rubber technology for longer lasting performance, not found on any other wiper blade. Because like you, Bosch cares about what's ahead.
I have the worst cold with this runny nose. I better take something.
Dayquil Cold and Flu doesn't treat your runny nose.
Seriously?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough fights your worst cold symptoms plus your runny nose.
Oh, what a relief it is.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that playing cards with Kenny Rogers gets old pretty fast?
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the...
Think you have the fastest internet? Think again. This is Xfinity. This is your current internet provider.
Which do you think is going to download faster?
I'm going to go with what I know.
Ready?
Yes. Download.
Well,
Xfinity is way faster.
That's not even fair.
And we're done. I'm going to go.
We may have to switch to Xfinity.
Get even more of the speed you need with Xfinity Internet from Comcast. Upgrade to get speeds up to 50 megabits per second for just $10 more a month for 12 months. See for yourself. Call or go online today.
What is a vacation? A slice of time, a peace of mind, a break, an escape, that need you want. It's the place you dream of. It's paradise. It's romance. It's choices. All included, all unlimited. Forget what you left behind. Live the now. No schedules, all desires. Night falls, day breaks, you wake up beautiful. Different, connected. Two hearts, one soul. This is the time of your life. This is Sandals. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
148013.
Ride on the most treacherous highway in the world to experience the high risk of heavy rescue. Highway Through Hell, Sundays at 10 on the Weather Channel.
I'm in the lab with Carl Parker. Good to see you, my friend. 7 minutes now before the hour. And Carl, have you been outside the last few hours?
I have not. Is it?
I'm telling you.
It's going to be a treat, huh?
It's going to be a real treat for you. Now, of course, we're talking about the cold air that's heading into the deep south right now. It's through Atlanta and outside. It's below 30 at the present time, by the way.
Yeah, and you know, I've heard a little trick, and I do this all the time now, especially if your car is older, is you want to really let it warm up. Give it a good minute just to idle and get the juices flowing before you really start working it, because that really takes miles off, takes wear off the engine, essentially.
Well, I've got a 15-year-old car, so I'm going to do just that when I get out of here. Yeah. Okay. Well, The reason we bring up the cold air is because there's something very interesting that happens when there's cold air blowing across a body of water.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you know, water retains heat a lot more readily than does land. So
the water does.
Yes. So the water temperature in the center part of Lake Michigan is about 40 degrees right now.
Okay.
You've got sub-freezing temperatures. You've got actually sub-zero temperatures coming into the lake right now. But when those temperatures reach the lake, they're modified by that warm lake water. They're warmed up by that warm lake water.
Okay.
And so the air suddenly gets up a lot higher. It becomes, you know, 10, 15 degrees, where it was 10 to 15 degrees below zero.
Below zero.
So it's suddenly a lot warmer, but the air aloft is still exceptionally cold. It's not being affected by the lake. It's still 30, 35 degrees below zero.
So it sets up a situation like a summertime thunderstorm.
Yes.
The heat of the day, it's warm down here.
Yes.
That air wants to rise into cooler air. And that's what we have here,
You've
right?
got that differential. You've got the instability where it wants to rise. And I always think of trying to take a ball and push it down into a pool.
Yeah.
Always wants to jump back up where the water is less dense. Wants to get to where the density is more equal.
So what do we end up with in a situation like this?
So in a situation like that, you've got instability, you've got air rising, and then you're adding moisture to the air, and the result is you get these snow squalls that develop. And we were looking at the visible picture today, and you can see it just as plain as day.
Yeah.
Here you've got cold, clear air coming across Wisconsin, hits that lake, and pow, clouds develop, and then they begin to congeal into these cloud streets, and that is your lake effect snow right there.
So it takes a little while for the moisture and heat to be added to the air, so we don't see clouds here.
Right.
But maybe 10 or 15 miles into the lake, all of a sudden.
Exactly.
And you have little red spots that I just drew. Sorry about that.
So this is something that a lot of us are very familiar with, this lake effect snow, but it can happen over any body of water that is sufficiently warmer than the air temperature, and that is also the case here off the Atlantic coast. So here you've got this flow, this northwesterly flow driving right off the land and then out into the water, and then you see this large area of cloud streets developing there. I mean, just a beautiful shot. And so that is, and we'll look at the radar picture, that is ocean effect snow right there. Ocean effect snow. Yeah, it's amazing.
So you can get ocean effect snow in some of these islands here?
Absolutely.
Nantucket and even Cape Cod, right?
Right, it's just starting to develop right as it comes across this islands, but no doubt some snow showers there. Probably not a lot in the way of accumulation, but there is something there. Now, we have this high resolution model, and the models are just amazing sometimes. They're not always totally accurate, but they really do a very nice job of simulating the atmosphere. And then here you see these cloud streets. That's the ocean effect snow that develops through early in the morning and then right through the day tomorrow. And then you also see these bay plumes that sort of mirror the coastline there. You're getting a little extra convergence over the Delaware Bay, and that's something that we see all the time. And how amazing is it that the model is able to resolve that and kick it out and show us that
models keep getting better and better.
Oh, they really do. They really do. So that's going to be well offshore for the most part tomorrow. The next thing we're going to pay attention to in the middle of the country as far as winter weather is the possibility of some snow and/or a mix, maybe some freezing rain in Texas and the Mid-South. You've got this big dome of very cold air in place. We're going to see some disturbances coming out of the southwest, starting to grab up some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. How exactly that interacts is a little difficult to say at this point, but we think there is potential for icing in the hill country in Texas and then coming up into the Mid-South over the weekend.
Thanks for that little lesson and for the heads up on this possible ice storm.
Absolutely.
Alex, back to you.
Thank you guys so much. Well, we've got much more on the Arctic blast and just how cold you're going to be into the overnight. Kim Cunningham and Mark Elliott are coming up next. We leave you with a look at Atlanta from Coca-Cola World Headquarters. 32 now, but feels much colder.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a few passing clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 52, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun early, then becoming cloudy in the afternoon, slight chance of a rain shower, high 68. Thursday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 63, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Mark Elliott.
And I'm Kim Cunningham. You know, upwards of 182 million people, more than half of the population of the U.S., are under some sort of cold alert tonight.
At least if you're suffering, you're not suffering alone.
That's the truth.
We're talking about freeze watches and warnings and dangerous wind chill alerts as well. These types of conditions stretching all the way down to the deep south, including Tampa.
All right, let's check it out. They are dangerously cold, these wind chills. Please remember to check on your neighbors, especially the elderly, and bring in those pets, the ones that live outdoors, and don't let the ones that don't out too long for the little breaks. But Minneapolis, check it out, man. We've got some cold weather for you. So cold that schools will be closed tomorrow due to cold temperatures. Mark has more details on the Arctic air already in place. Mark.
Yeah, Kim, we've got this cold air that started off across the northern tier in the Midwest, but it's not staying there. This is a widespread Arctic blast. But let's zoom in first here across the northern tier, the heart of this real cold and dangerous cold air. We've got this huge, massive high pressure zone, pressures that are flirting with records or breaking records for just how high the pressure is, which this time of year basically translate into how cold the air is going to be. Chicago 1 below right now, Minneapolis 2 below, and going down from there. Plus, you've got the wind to factor in. If it were just the cold, it would be one thing, but the wind always seems to make it so much worse. Minneapolis 13 mile per hour winds, 16 in Chicago, St. Louis 14 mile per hour winds. So when you factor all this together, look at this. This is the wind chill forecast, and right now it'll feel like 22 to 26 below across portions of the Midwest. And as we put this in motion here, as we go through the nighttime hours, approaching 30 below in Chicago at times, that is dangerous cold. We are emphasizing that a lot tonight through the rest of the show because we need you to be able to go back inside, warm up. If your job is outside overnight, maybe working on the roads or something, get that boss to let you have some break time, that's for sure. Wind chill plus a frostbite time on here for tomorrow morning, maybe walking to the bus stop. Chicago, it'll only take between 10 and 15 minutes before you get frostbite with temperatures like that. So this cold air pushes very far south as the high pressure zone builds in. You know what? It's going so far south, widespread temps that are below freezing that we want to talk about the south a little bit more. Kim, let's go over to you.
And that's right. The south won't be spared from this Arctic invasion for sure. Atlanta, you're going to see wind chills near 0 tomorrow. So we sent storm tracker Jim Cantori to Home Depot here in Atlanta. And Jim, I know when the snow word is used in the south, they go to this grocery store to get bread and butter and milk. What do they get when it's cold like this at Home Depot?
They do things to wrap your pipes, also protect your windows. Anywhere where cold air can get in and heat can get out. You don't want that heat escaping because you know what that means at the end of the day, big money. So we brought in our good friend, our project manager, Faye LeCondre, who's a very well-decorated Home Depot vet here, to talk about this. We did the pipes last time. Let's talk about the windows and doors.
Yes.
What kind of products do we have to do that?
Okay, right now we're selling the double draft door stop so that...
Now this is the easiest one to use,
This is the easiest one. It has a little slit where you can slide it under your door, and it protects both sides, the front of your door and the back of your door.
So imagine that if you invented this thing, how much would you be worth right now? Just something that simple. So
just that simple.
Because a lot of times with these other ones, you know, especially one like this or something, you have to detach one from the bottom, so you have to take the door off, take that off, then slide this one underneath, screw it in, right? So it's a little bit more complicated.
Exactly. This one is the easiest way and the best way to go right now.
All right,
because,
make sure
yes.
And this is one size fits all? Or
one size fits all.
Do you have different sizes for different doors?
No, this is one size fits all for this one.
That's the way you're selling that pretty hard, Faye.
Yes,
all right,
much.
Windows here. Let's talk about what we do with that.
Yes, we have weather seal for your windows that you can wrap it all the way around and seal in those windows so that you don't have any draft coming in.
Awesome. So what is flying off the shelves right now?
Well,
there's a lot of, because even when we came in here just to start our shots, we saw people buying things. We saw them buying things to insulate their pipes. We saw people buying some propane. Actually, to
they're buying
their
faucet covers, weather strip
for the outside.
Yes, faucet covers, weather stripping, ice melt. They're buying shovels. They're buying everything. They're expecting like this to be a big storm or something, but I don't think so.
So what do you recommend in terms of cold places in your home? In other words, there are rooms that are colder than others, let's face it. Whether the insulation was done right or whether the air ducting wasn't done right, doesn't really matter. There are rooms that are just colder than the others. What do you recommend to heat those rooms? A space heater?
Yes, make sure you use a space heater and not a propane heater, but just a regular electrical space heater to heat up that room.
Yeah, and if you do use a propane heater, it has to be outside because it's putting out carbon monoxide, right?
Yes, and you don't want to cause a fire.
That's right.
Exactly.
Not to mention you don't want to die from carbon monoxide.
Exactly.
Great tips, Darlene. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
Awesome. All right, guys, again, we talked about the pipes. Make sure you protect the pipes, leave the faucet dripping, open the doors to some of the cats, especially in some of those older rooms that Faye and I were talking about. And the weather stripping, that one-stop shop is probably the way to go, especially if you're with me. And you don't really feel like taking your door off tonight. Kim and Mark, that would be a project we probably don't want to get into at this point in the cold wave. Guys, back to you.
I'd have to take a class from Home Depot on that.
Hey, Jim, we've only got about a minute left or so, but I mean, you're so into the outdoor plants and stuff. What would you pick up at Home Depot to make sure that they're okay? Or I don't actually think Jim can hear us, so we'll just have to talk about it without him. Oh,
no, I can. No, I can hear you. My cameraman just didn't know we were coming back to me. The thing with the plants, they're already in the ground, especially the pansies. Pansies can live all winter long in the south. All right, so what you'll have to do is cover them now, and then tomorrow morning, once the sun comes up after about an hour or so, make sure you get that cover off of there. But if you can protect them from the wind, I think you'll be able to keep them going. But once those leaves dry out and they just kind of wilt, it's certainly not a good situation. But there's a chance, certainly, you can protect some of those tender annuals, as we call them in the south.
Cover them up with just a blanket or an old sheet, like anything you've got?
Yeah, an old blanket, an old sheet. I have an old sheet that I have that I cover them up with, and it works just fine. I mean, if it's really windy, put some rocks on the outside of the sheet and just kind of hold it down from letting the wind get underneath it. But I think, seriously, I mean, it's either that or wait till the next warming trend and go out and replant the pansies again, which is kind of a pain.
All right, good advice.
Thanks, Jim. All right, guys, Windy City is flirting in record territory right now.
We're going live there right after this. Stick with us.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. There we go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this.
Danger. Warning.
You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
Danger.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
This is Paul. This Paul's office. For those who believe a serious job doesn't have to feel so serious. One-a-day men's Vitacraves with key nutrients like B vitamins, which help convert food to fuel. It's not just a gummy, it's a complete multivitamin.
This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It's going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this.
Listen to that.
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a few passing clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 52, winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun early, then becoming cloudy in the afternoon, slight chance of a rain shower, high 68. Thursday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, low 63, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
What makes it an SUV is what you can get into it. What makes it an NX is what you can get out of it. Introducing the first ever Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once you go beyond utility, there's no going back.
Have you ever thought about trying eHarmony? Then we've got something exciting just for you. Our free communication weekend and extended days for New Year's. We're giving away unprecedented access, including sending messages to matches who interest you. Kick off the new year right and really experience eHarmony for free. It's the first step in finding that perfect person for you. Connect for free during this special kickoff.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
Breathe. I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Weather Center Live. You know, Chicago's been in the single digits today and it's about to get colder.
Yeah, this push of Arctic air is plummeting the temperatures and the wind is going to make things downright miserable for you.
NBC's Jay Gray is in Chicago for us tonight. And Jay, people in the Midwest, they're used to the cold, but these temperatures are dangerous.
Oh, it's amazing how cold it is getting now that the sun's gone down. We just checked 1 degree here at Navy Pier. It's been colder over at the airport, so no telling what the reading is there. The wind chill's been in the upper teens. It is going to continue to drop as we get into the evening here. Blowing snow, bitter winds, and millions bundled up as an Arctic system tightens its grip across much of the country. School buses were empty in more than 200 districts across the Midwest. The temperature's too cold for kids to go to class. Patches of ice wrecked roadways, cars spinning out of control and sliding off highways across the region. Temperatures continue to drop and wind chills in many areas are well below zero. Dangerous, potentially deadly, especially for those who have nowhere to go for protection from the extreme conditions.
We keep an eye on them, make sure they are doing okay for the night.
The Chicago family is now looking for shelter after an overnight fire ravaged their home. Initially, crews struggled to fight that blaze, dealing with frozen radios and hydrants.
For about the first half hour we were here, we were not able to get water.
The water in Lake Michigan is mostly solid now, steam climbing from the ice as temperatures continue to fall. Yeah, and you guys have been talking about it, Kim. As brutal as it's been today in many areas, including here in Chicago, it's supposed to be even worse tomorrow. Hard to believe it is awfully cold. Back to you in that warm studio.
I wish it was warm, Jay, but it's definitely not as cold as it is there. Thanks so much. All right, that's Jay reporting for us in the frigid, windy city tonight. Now over to Mark, who's tracking some impressive bands of lake effect snow. Mark?
Yeah, you know, one way to kind of deal with this cold is to look at all the stuff that comes in when it's this cold. Like if you're sitting inside the airport, like Mike Seidel was today, and getting to watch this. I mean, yeah, that's the anti-ice for the aircraft. Yeah, the de-icing procedures going. Look at that. They climb up on those two bucket seats and they spray down the plane so that the wings don't ice over on takeoff. It's always fascinating to watch that procedure get done, and Buffalo certainly no stranger to de-icing procedures. And then another way to see just how cold it is different types of precipitation that start off because of the cold. And we're actually seeing some snow squalls that are there only because it is so cold. So what you're looking at over here off the coast of Massachusetts is actually some ocean effect snow. You've heard us talk about lake effect snow. Well, in this case, it is warm, relatively warm ocean water helping to kind of make those cloud streets off the coast. So very cold air going over the lakes. We're seeing some lake effect. And then as it continues off the northeast coastline, we're seeing some ocean effect snow. So late week, we're going to get traditional snow. A northern tier snowstorm comes across, a fast-moving jet stream involved here. So for the late portion of the week, this is clipper comes on through. Now, unlike the last clipper that really kind of overdid itself. This one's gotten almost no upper level support, so it's going to be a quick burst of a couple of inches of snow at most tomorrow, moving through the Great Lakes, entering the northeast corridor by tomorrow night. So again, moving very quickly, and then off the coast from there by Friday. And again, some light snow is possible, maybe an inch, maybe 2, 3 if you're lucky. The thing is, Kim, the winds return. So when all is said and done, between the lake effect now, the next Clipper, and then the next lake effect, some pretty substantial totals. Over to you.
All right, thanks, Mark. We want to make sure you realize how serious this Arctic air can be and why you should make sure your heater is working before it's too late. Up next, what it could cost you.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So guess what? I met them at the zoo. Service that fits your schedule. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
At the end of the day, my hands are beat up.
Especially during the winter times, hands are splitting, cracking, making it very difficult to do my job.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
Best stuff we've ever used.
It just works.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
You park your car. As you walk away, crunch. A garbage truck backs into it. So you call your insurance company looking for a little support. What you get is a game of 1,000 questions. Was it raining? Were your flashers on? Was there a dog with you? By the time you hang up, you're convinced the accident was your fault. Then you remember, you weren't even in the car.
At Liberty Mutual, we make filing a claim as stress-free as possible. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
When would I ever tell you I'm getting too over it?
Sunday. Frustrations mount as the prospectors come up empty.
The area we've been digging is not producing. I'm feeling the pressure.
And Craig gets a little too close for comfort.
You're here still. Think you have the fastest internet? Think again. This is Xfinity. This is your current internet provider. Which do you think is going to download faster?
I'm going to go with what I know.
Ready?
Yes.
Download.
Wow.
Xfinity is way faster. That's not even fair.
And we're done. I'm going to go.
I may have to switch to Xfinity.
Get even more of the speed you need with Xfinity Internet from Comcast. Upgrade to get speeds up to 50 megabits per second for just $10 more a month for 12 months. See for yourself. Call or go online today.
Can you read this for me?
We invited 29 people to test their vision.
I can't read this at all. Here, try Adlin's Adjustables. Awesome.
You just turn the little wheels.
As you're turning the knob, things just like come into view.
I love that you can adjust it for whatever you're doing.
What if I told you they were only $29.99?
Okay, I wouldn't believe you. Call 800-881-ADLENS or visit adlens.com. For $29.99, you can see for yourself, and they make a great gift.
So call toll-free at 1-800-200-6120.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 69 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, a few passing clouds. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 52. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, a mix of clouds and sun early, then becoming cloudy in the afternoon. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 68. Thursday night, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower. Low 63, winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, welcome back to, well, Weather Center Live, everyone, and welcome back to the cold. We're going to talk about some potential records, and there's going to be several of them, possibly.
Yeah, dangerous cold temperatures have enveloped basically the eastern two-thirds of the country.